Well, at least it's unmasked.
What we do here is go back.
Alright, what's up guys? So as you can see, the car is all nice and shiny now. We got it all sparkly. And, you know, the clear coat didn't come out too bad. But there is just a slight bit of orange peel. And obviously when you throw flake, you also want to just even out the surface because the flake is going to make the surface a little bit uneven. So we're going to just go ahead. And what I've done is gone and bought a sandpaper scale, basically. So we got 2,500, 3,000, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 sandpaper. And obviously I have 1,000 grit obviously over there in the drawer. So I'm gonna do a quick pass with 1,000 grit, quick, you know, a little bit quick pass with 1,200, and I'm going to start massaging the surface pretty good with 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, all the way up to 3,000. Then we're going to buff it with my buffer and stuff, and when we get there, but before we start on all this, obviously this clear coat's nice and dry now. It's been sitting overnight, and it was a pretty warm day yesterday, so it's all good. But before we start on all that, we're going to go over here. I'm going to go and grab the sander. And we're going to work our little area here. Now, I'll be quite honest. I'm not going to do this. The correct way to be to like sand and you know, respray this whole area here. They don't want all that. We're going to try to save what's there. We're just going to try to spot this little area in and then lay artwork and kind of try to hide it, right? So we're going to try our best to patch this big spot here. Get whatever else is going to fall off, get it off of there. Sand it smooth. Maybe lay some fiberglass filler up in here. And I like using fiberglass filler instead of Bondo. It's pretty much the same thing, but the fiberglass filler from my experience doesn't do this as easily. It doesn't crack up and do that, so hopefully, you know, sanding this off, putting a nice little layer of fiberglass filler, letting that dry, and then coming back and sanding that will hopefully stop it from doing this. I don't want to say it will, but hopefully it will stop it from doing this. The cracking, you see this? So hopefully we could get it a little more sturdy. Obviously this car has a lift kit and has a pretty hefty radio system and all that. So cracks are probably going to happen, but I didn't paint this. So I don't know what's under this panel, and I'm honestly pretty scared to sand too far. But we're going to try to sand this out. We're going to lay another little layer of fiberglass and then shape it, you know, and go all that. And while this is drying, while we do this Bondo stuff, we're going to go ahead and try to sand up the rest of the car too. So there's lots of sanding going on today. Obviously I have to sand this car, and this one's a little bit easier. We're going to, you know, just go with the 320 grit and then 400 grit, just to really break up the surface right away and get that all ready for paint. This car though is going to take quite a bit of sanding. So for now, let's get that back area all sanded up. And yeah, so let me go grab the sander and we'll work on this a little bit. Alright, so we got that kind of patched up there. It's not the best job. But once you sand it smooth, you know, gonna just have to hope for the best. It's just the underlaying paint that's really cracking. So it turns out the car is actually completely painted that dark blue, and then they put the white over. Well, the dark blue underneath the white is what's cracking. There was a little bit of Bondo back here, but that Bondo is actually holding together pretty good. A lot better than the paint is. So I sanded down that little piece of Bondo where it had chipped off. The rest of it seems to be holding together. You know, we laid some fiberglass resin in there. Again, just gonna patch it up, throw a little bit of white over it. You know, we'll sand it up, throw some primer, throw some white, and hope for the best. So now, so that we could focus on the sanding, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this car nice and wet sanded up. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna start with 1,000 grit, and we're gonna work our way up the scale, and then we could get to buffing it. And like I said, the surface is not. It's pretty smooth as it is, so we don't have to do too much. It shouldn't take too long. But my arms, you know, it's gonna be another arm day. Ugh. So anyway, let's get started wet sanding this up and pour me a fresh bucket of water. Put some nice soap in it and get going. So. Alright guys, you can see I got that car over there all wet sanded, and it's pretty much ready for a buff. We're going to let it dry for a little bit. I'm come back over here checking on this. It's pretty solid now. It already feels pretty smooth. But we're going to let that dry just a little bit more. It's not all the way dry, but it is starting to see like it's already cracking. So once that starts happening, that's pretty good. We'll come back and sand this by hand. We'll lay some primer over this, and then go ahead and start sanding the rest of the bottom of the car. In the meantime, we're gonna see this car. Look at that nice flat surface. It's completely flat all the way around. And so from here, we're gonna buff it. So let's go ahead and pull out some buffing materials or buffing supplies down from here. Let me set you guys up right here, and I'll pull this stuff out. Here, just sit right there. So here we have our buffer, and I have this Dewalt Buffer. It works pretty awesome. And what I like about it is it has this adjustment here where you can set your speed of what you want. I usually run it really low, like between 6 and 1,000. It's like at 800. That's usually what I run it at. Then the local paint shop, you guys remember my video about how awesome local paint shops are. They recommended this Wizard Mystic cut and these pads. So these are the Wizard's pads, and we have a white pad and a gray pad. So what you do here is we're going to hook these up. We're going to start off with the white pad, which is their aggressor pad. along with the Mystic cut here. We're going to get this all nice and wet with this, and we're going to start going around the car. Do one good pass with this, really good pass with that, all over the whole car. Then we're going to wipe it off with some microfiber towels. Then we're going to come back and do the gray pad over again. We're going to get this all nice and wet, and we're going to go over the whole car with the gray pad, and hopefully by then it'll be nice and shiny. From my experience, you do the gray pad and it already looks really shiny, and then when you do, you do the white pad and it looks really shiny, and then when you do the gray pad, it just, the reflections all show up and it looks amazing. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to dry. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get myself some lunch. I'm completely drenched too from wet sanding, so I'm gonna let myself dry, let the car dry, get myself some food, and then I'll come back out here. We'll get this buffed out, then we could get it out of the garage completely and get paid for it, and then we could focus on this one, spend the next couple of days getting this all painted up, and then we could send this out and get paid for that. So it's been a few days now working on these vehicles, and we're already at the point where we could pretty much, this one's going to be done in the next couple hours. We're going to finish buffing it and it'll be ready to go. And this one, in the next couple of days, we're going to finish up that Bondo spot and send that out on its way. So luckily we have this big, huge garage. Yeah, let's get this buffed out. Let's get it sent out, get paid for that, and go on about our business. So let me go get some lunch, dry myself off, maybe even get some fresh clothes. Actually not, because it's going to get dirty when I start buffing. So probably just let this dry off real quick, come back, get that buffed out, get it out of here, sand this up, get it primered up, and be ready for tomorrow, where we come and we'll do the artwork on this. Oh yeah, before I forget too, oh my gosh, I did go out and get the transfer tape. We needed more of that, and I got some white vinyl. And I do have some vinyl over there in the drawers over there, but I did not have enough, right? So we gotta put the Boss Life Queen going down the sides here, but it's a pretty big, it's pretty long, so I had to get a new roll to make sure that we have the length to be able to get that in there. So I got that supplies, and yeah. Anyway, let's go get some lunch, come back, I'll start buffing it out. See you guys in a minute. Alright, so as you can see, guys, we got it pretty much completely done with the white pad, right? And as you can see, it's pretty smooth, starting to get real shiny. The reflections are all coming back. You can see my hand. Oh, you can see yourself. No duh. You can see that sparkle really starting to come through. That's what really makes the flake amazing, is once you actually buff it, it looks really killer. So now we're going to go ahead and go over with the gray pad, and the gray pad just completely smooths this out. Any little areas that you might see or that I might see, it'll get those all nice and cleared up and super smooth. So yeah, after that it'll be done. Well, I'm gonna probably once I'm done buffing it, take it out. We're gonna wash it really good to get it nice and clean, and then park it out front for the customer to come and pick it up and get paid, son. So yeah, look at that sparkle. I freaking love that. So let's get the gray pad out and get it all finished. Alright guys, as you can see, got it all buffed up. It is pretty much mirror finish. What's up guys? You guys can see my reflection right there. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Oh man, I'm out of breath. Whew. I'm going to pull it out. We're going to wash it off and then it'll be ready. We're going to go park it out front. I'll get some nice shots of it in the sun. We'll go and park it out front and it'll be ready for pickup. So yeah, so let me wash it off real quick and then you guys can enjoy some nice panoramic shots of the artwork and the car. Alright guys, so as you can see we got one done. My arms are pretty much dead though, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day right there. And that way we can let that sit overnight, get nice and dry, and we'll come back out in the morning, get all sanded up, get this whole bottom sanded up, lay up our graphics that we're going to be putting in there, as well as you know, get the stencil that we need ready, and maybe even shoot the dark blue tomorrow across the bottom. So yeah, that's the plan for the next episode. But for now, I'm gonna go get some much needed rest, let my shoulders rest, let my arms rest, and we'll be back tomorrow full force. So thank you guys again all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.